on the 250, man, I'ma beat the shit out your hoe ass when I catch you. I ain't now one of them nigga fool who finna be backstage ducking and dodging and running and I ain't on fed paper no more, fool. All you gotta do is tell your security to get out the way. I'ma tell man get out the way. Man, I'ma sweep the floor with your hoe ass, fool. You a bitch, nigga.
Finesse2Tymes just needs to sit his big goofy ass down. Yo, what's good, fam? We got some serious drama brewing in the rap game right now, and this one's getting messy real quick. We're talking about Finesse2Tymes going absolutely nuclear on Offset, and homie, this crash out was something else entirely. Let me break down this whole situation for y'all because this beef got layers to it that'll have you shaking your head. So check it. It all started when Finesse2Tymes was on Instagram Live, probably had a few drinks in him, and decided to get real disrespectful about Offset's personal situation. Now, we all know Offset been going through it ever since he found out his wife Cardi B was having a baby with NFL player Stefon Diggs. That's gotta hurt, no cap, but Finesse2Tymes took it there and started clowning Offset about how his wife got took by a football player. Finesse was basically laughing at the man, talking about how this NFL dude came through and snatched his whole wife up. He was making jokes about the situation, calling it wild how a football player just walked in and took everything. The Memphis rapper was really having a field day with Offset's pain, and you could tell he was enjoying every minute of it. He kept going back to the same point, how another man came and took what Offset thought was his. Let them hoes go be with Javante Davis. Let them hoes go, Finesse2Tymes said during his live stream. What's buddy? I ain't want to hit everybody, I said, man. What's that name? Who hit everybody? Man, I don't know the name, man. Handsome, man. He got braids, man. He was clearly talking about Stefon Diggs, but playing dumb about knowing his name at first. Now, that's some cold-blooded type stuff right there. But Finesse2Tymes wasn't done. He kept going, really rubbing salt in the wound about how Offset's marriage fell apart. The way he was talking, you could tell this wasn't just casual jokes. This was calculated disrespect designed to get under Offset's skin. To understand why this beef hit so hard, you gotta know the background of both these rappers. Finesse2Tymes is a Memphis street rapper who's been grinding for years, known for his raw lyrics and authentic street credibility. He's been locked up multiple times and always talks about that real street life. On the other hand, Offset was part of Migos, one of the biggest rap groups of the 2010s, living that luxury lifestyle with designer clothes and expensive jewelry. The contrast between these two couldn't be more different. Finesse2Tymes represents that gritty, unfiltered Memphis sound, while Offset was living the Atlanta trap dream with chart-topping hits and mainstream success. But now, Offset's personal life was falling apart, and Finesse2Tymes saw an opportunity to expose what he saw as weakness. Offset wasn't having none of that disrespect, though. The Migos member saw the clips going around and decided to respond. He commented on a post telling Finesse2Tymes to keep his name out his mouth, but that wasn't enough for Offset. He took it a step further and posted on his Instagram story, making some serious threats about sliding on Finesse2Tymes. He was talking about spinning on him and made it clear he wasn't playing games. The threats Offset made were serious, talking about, when we spank you, don't call the police. In street terms, spank means shoot. So Offset was basically threatening to shoot Finesse2Tymes and telling him not to call the cops afterward. That's some heavy stuff right there, and it shows how heated Offset was getting about the situation. What made this even more interesting is the timing. Offset had been relatively quiet about his personal drama with Cardi B and Stefon Diggs, trying to handle things privately, but Finesse2Tymes bringing it up publicly and laughing about it clearly struck a nerve. Offset felt like his manhood was being questioned, and in hip-hop culture, that's something you can't let slide. Now, when Finesse2Tymes saw those threats, that's when everything went left. Homie hopped on Instagram Live and absolutely crashed out on Offset. And when I say crashed out, I mean this man went completely off the rails. He was heated, talking crazy, and wasn't holding back nothing. Finesse2Tymes started off by saying he'd been trying to stay on his money and peace timing lately, focusing on his music and staying out of drama. I've been on straight music time lately, y'all. I've been pushing money and peace. I've been on some get money type stuff, he explained. But Offset's threats got him all the way twisted. He was like, you mad at me? You supposed to be mad at the football playing dude. Hey bro, don't at me bro. Don't get mad at me my boy, Finesse2Tymes said during his live stream. Get mad at the football playing my boy, don't get mad at me. What's wrong with you, fool? Get mad at that dude sticking that football in that hole. That's what you get mad at. Don't get mad at me. He kept emphasizing how Offset was directing his anger at the wrong person. The Memphis rapper was making it clear that he wasn't the one who took Offset's wife. That was all Stephon Diggs. Get mad at that dude sticking that football up that man. You know what I'm talking about. Get up off me, my boy. This ain't that, my boy. But Finesse2Tymes wasn't stopping there. He started getting real personal, talking about how Offset been acting feminine and emotional about the whole situation. He called him out for suing his baby mama for $70 million while he's out here begging to see his own kids. You out here suing your baby mama, and I'm out here begging my baby mama to let me see my kids, Finesse said, pointing out what he saw as backwards priorities. You feminine as hell, man. Feminine ass dude, man. You out here suing. Come on, man. Finesse2Tymes continued. He was really going in on Offset's character, questioning his masculinity and calling him soft for handling the situation through lawsuits instead of like a man. The Memphis rapper really went in on Offset's character, calling him soft and saying he ain't built for the streets. You a real hoe for that, Finesse2Tymes said. You feminine as hell, man. You out here suing people instead of handling your business like a man. Then Finesse2Tymes started making some serious threats of his own. He told Offset that when he catches him, it's going to be problems. When I catch you, you going to have to live with that or die with it, he said, making it clear he wasn't playing around. He was talking about slapping all Offset's dreads out his head and beating him up whenever he sees him. I ain't never been one of them dudes who going to be backstage ducking and dodging, Finesse2Tymes declared. All you gotta do is tell your security to get out the way, I'ma tell my people to get out the way, and I'ma sweep the floor with your ass. The threats got even more specific and personal. I slap all your dreads out your head. You a bitch, you talking about, Finesse2Tymes said. He was really trying to emasculate Offset with his words, calling him feminine and weak. Finesse2Tymes kept going, saying Offset ain't never been in no real street situations. You ain't catching no real wreck, man. Y'all don't know nothing about that life. He was basically calling Offset's street credibility into question, saying he's all rap and no action. Them little charges you catching, man. You ain't catching no real wreck, man. The threats got even more specific when Finesse2Tymes said he'd catch Offset anywhere, even at Disney World. I go to Disney World too, he said. I'll beat your ass at Disney World, boy. I go to Disney World. Yeah, I catch your ass at Disney World. Fire your ass up at Disney World. Boy, wherever I catch you, it's gonna be problems. This Disney World reference was particularly wild because it showed Finesse2Tymes was willing to get violent anywhere, even at a family-friendly place. That's some unhinged behavior right there, and it really showed how serious he was about his threats. But here's where it gets really wild. Finesse2Tymes started talking about money. He said if Offset wants to squash the beef, he's going to have to pay him $1 million. You're going to have to wire me $1 million and I ain't playing. You better call QC or somebody because your ass going to need help paying me to get off your back. In order to squash this right here, you're going to have to wire me $1 million, Finesse2Tymes said. And I ain't playing with your ass. You better call QC or somebody. Your ass going to need help paying me to get off your ass. He kept emphasizing that Offset should be focused on the real issue, Stephon Diggs taking his wife. You need to be trying to spin on the football field, not on me, Finesse2Tymes said. You need to be trying to spin on the stadium. That's who got your wife, not me. This was probably the most disrespectful part of the whole rant. Finesse2Tymes was basically telling Offset that if he wants to be mad at somebody, be mad at the man who actually took his wife and got her pregnant. The logic was sound, even if the delivery was harsh. Finesse2Tymes also brought up how Offset didn't have this same energy for other rappers who dissed him or tried to get with Cardi B. You ain't say nothing when Pooh Shiesty shot his shot at your hoe. You ain't say nothing when Fredo Bang shot his shot at your hoe. You don't say nothing to him, but you feel like you can say something to me? He was pointing out what he saw as selective outrage from Offset. The Memphis rapper was basically saying Offset was picking and choosing his battles, going after him instead of the people who were actually trying to get with his wife. The Memphis rapper got even more disrespectful, talking about how Stephon Diggs is the one who's really winning in this situation. That football player paid your debt, he said, referring to the $70 million settlement. He told Cardi B, "Here, give this crybaby this money so he can get out our business." Finesse2Tymes painted a picture of Stefon Diggs, essentially paying Offset to go away so he could be with Cardi B in peace. The football player paid your debt? Hey, Cardi B, huh? I'm going to wire you this $70 million for this crybaby. Get this guy out our business. He kept going in on Offset's masculinity, saying real street dudes don't act like that. What gangster owns another man's son? He asked, referring to Offset claiming the baby as his since he's still legally married to Cardi B. That's Stefon Diggs' son, not yours. That man put in the work for that baby, not you. That's Stefon Diggs' son. That ain't your son. That's that man's son. You all on here talking about that's your son. That ain't your wife no more. That man took your wife, Finesse2Tymes continued, really driving the point home. The whole situation really shows how Offset's personal life has become public entertainment, and his fall off is definitely going to be studied. Here's a man who was part of one of the biggest rap groups of the 2010s, and now he's getting clowned by other rappers about his wife leaving him for an NFL player. That's a tough pill to swallow. What makes Offset's situation even more painful is the public nature of it all. Most people going through relationship problems can handle it privately, but when you're a celebrity, everything becomes content for other people. Every detail of his marriage falling apart, every court document, every new development with Cardi B and Stefon Diggs, it's all public knowledge. Finesse2Tymes wasn't done though. He kept emphasizing that he's not the one Offset should have problems with. "I just said something about the situation. I didn't take your wife. I didn't get her pregnant." That was all Stefon Diggs. "All I said was that the football was sticking in a hole, man. You ain't say nothing when Pooh Shiesty shot his shot at your hoe. You don't say nothing to him, but you feel like you can say something to me?" Finesse2Tymes explained his position. The beef really highlights how personal situations can spill over into the rap game. Offset is clearly going through it emotionally, dealing with his marriage falling apart and another man raising what might legally be considered his child. That's enough to drive anybody crazy. But Finesse2Tymes wasn't showing no sympathy. He kept pressing Offset about being soft and not handling his business properly. "You can't even lift 40 pounds, he said, really going in on Offset's physical capabilities. "Your security can't even lift 40 pounds, you a bitch." The Memphis rapper also brought up Offset's legal troubles, saying he goes to jail for small charges while he goes to jail for serious crimes. "You go to jail for carrying guns, man. I go to jail for discharging them," Finesse2Tymes said, trying to establish his street credibility over Offset's. This comparison was particularly cutting because it played into the narrative that Offset is all image and no substance. While Finesse2Tymes is getting locked up for serious violent crimes, Offset is catching minor charges that don't really establish any street credibility. The whole situation is wild because it shows how social media can escalate beefs quickly. What started as some jokes on Instagram Live turned into serious threats and a full-blown feud. Both men are now talking about violence and making it clear they're not backing down. Finesse2Tymes made it clear he's not worried about Offset's threats. "I just got out of jail, homie. You want to spin on me? Spin on the football player instead." He was basically saying Offset is barking up the wrong tree. The Memphis rapper also brought up how Offset blocked him on social media after making threats. "How you gonna talk crazy about me and then block me? I can't even see what you're saying. I gotta go to the blogs to see what you said. You blocked me from Sugar's page. You blocked me from Clever's page. You blocked the whole family page. You blocked Little Jew, No Love, Mama P. You blocked everybody. You mad at everybody, man. You a real hoe-ass boy," Finesse2Tymes said, calling out Offset for blocking people instead of handling the situation directly. This blocking behavior really played into Finesse2Tymes' narrative that Offset is soft and can't handle confrontation. In street culture, blocking someone after talking tough is seen as weak behavior. What's really interesting about this whole beef is how it exposes the different approaches to conflict resolution in hip-hop. Offset, coming from the more commercial side of rap, tried to handle things through legal channels and social media posts. Finesse2Tymes, representing that raw street rap, was ready to get physical immediately. The cultural implications of this beef run deep too. Offset's situation with Cardi B and Stefon Diggs touches on some sensitive topics in the black community about masculinity, relationships, and public humiliation. The fact that another man took his wife and got her pregnant while they were still married is the kind of situation that can destroy a man's reputation in certain circles. Finesse2Tymes was capitalizing on all of this, using Offset's pain as content and entertainment. He wasn't just beefing with Offset, he was making an example of him, showing what happens when you let another man take what's yours. The Memphis rapper also brought up Offset's spending habits, talking about how he buys expensive jewelry instead of handling his real problems. You ain't going to do nothing but go buy a chrome hard belt for $79,000. You might as well let your baby mama keep it. You ain't going to go do nothing. This was another shot at Offset's priorities, suggesting that he's more focused on material possessions than actually addressing his real issues. It's a common criticism of mainstream rappers, that they're all flash and no substance. This whole beef is messy, and it's clear both men are serious about their threats. Offset is dealing with one of the most embarrassing situations a man can go through: his wife leaving him for another man and having that man's baby. Meanwhile, Finesse2Tymes is capitalizing on that pain and turning it into content. The situation really shows how Offset's fall from grace is happening in real time. From being part of Migos to dealing with this public humiliation, it's a cautionary tale about how quickly things can change in the entertainment industry. His whole image as a successful rapper is being overshadowed by his personal problems. What makes this even more interesting is the street politics involved. Finesse2Tymes is affiliated with certain Memphis crews, while Offset has his Atlanta connections. This beef could potentially involve more people than just these two rappers. The timing of this beef is also significant. Offset is at a vulnerable point in his life, dealing with divorce proceedings, custody issues, and public embarrassment. Finesse2Tymes saw this vulnerability and decided to exploit it for his own gain. Y'all think this beef is going to escalate further, or will cooler heads prevail? Let me know in the comments, because this situation is far from over, and both these men seem ready for whatever comes next. This type of beef rarely stays just on social media, and with the threats being made, things could get real dangerous real quick.